Hey YouTube, how's it going today? In this video I want to talk about a company called CIDM Digital Cinema Corporation, ticker symbol CIDM. Now they are up big today on NFT Rumors, so I want to go over that, and I've found some other interesting things about the company that I want to show you, and then we're going to get into the charts. Now, if you're new to my channel, I like to trade and invest in typically lower price stocks. So if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing so you don't miss any future trading or investing ideas. But please remember, I am not a financial advisor, so please do all of your own research before investing in any of these stocks. All right, well, first I'm going to get into the rumor. Now, in this recent news article, it says there is speculation that CIDM may get into the non-fungible token market. CIDM has a library of over 52,000 films and TV episodes on its platform, and recently CIDM announced it acquired the content library of films around the world, which has remake rights to over 150 feature films. The article also says earlier this year, CIDM acquired Screambox. This enabled CIDM to target the highly lucrative horror genre. Another announcement from CIDM recently was that it signed an agreement to bring Dove Channel's vast library of positive and uplifting programming to friendly TV subscribers. This agreement includes Dove Channel's movies and iconic TV series, including favorites like The Lucy Show, Gumby, The Little Rascals, and Madeline to the friendly TV customers. Now, if you're not familiar with what an NFT is, all that is a unit of data on a blockchain where each NFT represents a unique digital item. And NFTs can represent digital files like art, audio, video, and other forms of creative work. Now, first off, I want to take a look at their revenue to show you that the company is potentially starting to turn things around. Now, despite revenue falling ever since 2016 when it came in at $104 million and it fell all the way down to an estimated $30 million in 2021, revenue is expected to begin growing again by next year to an estimated $40 million, which would be a 33% increase year over year. Now, I'm assuming based on this revenue stream that is expected to pick up, there are a couple of analysts on TipRanks that are bullish on this stock. Now, if you go over to TipRanks, it says 2 analysts offering a 12-month price target for CIDM in the last 3 months say the average price target is $3.25 with a high forecast of $3.50 and a low forecast of $3 even. So that means the average price target represents a 74% increase from the last price of around $1.86. Now, if we go over to Fintel's website, we find something a little bit more interesting. First off, CIDM has a pretty high short interest coming in at around 26%. Now then, if we flip over and take a look at their insider ownership, we can see insiders own over 46% of the shares, so that's a big number of shares that is locked up. So a potential short squeeze could be on the horizon if CIDM catches a decent-sized breakout. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be a GameStop type short squeeze, but potentially a big short squeeze nonetheless. All right, so let's jump over to my TC2000 charting software. This is the current daily chart of CIDM, and as we can see, this stock was forming a very nice rounded bottom, and it looked like it was poised to break out in February, but then when the market rolled over, it kind of got crushed and destroyed this chart pattern. It did crash below the 200 period simple moving average, but it got right back above it, which of course is a very good sign. And then of course in these last couple of days, it is up on huge volume on this NFT rumor news. Now, with all the volume that's been coming into this the last couple of days, I would have expected a breakout by now, and I actually did take a small position yesterday in CIDM thinking it was going to break out. And then I thought it was going to break out today, but it seems like it is meeting a lot of resistance over $2 a share. Now, I don't know if this is just more short sellers coming in to crush the stock to protect their short position. I mean, that's just all speculation. But that's what it kind of looks like to me. I think if we back the chart out, I bet most of these short sellers probably got short on this huge run up here, and that's why the stock got beat down. And the stock has been running against them these last couple of months, but if this thing explodes past 225, I think their short positions could be in jeopardy. So I think if we get a breakout past 225 to right around, I don't know, maybe the $3 area, I think there's a good chance that some of these guys can start unwinding their short positions. They don't want it to run too far against them. Now, that is just my opinion on looking at this chart. I don't know that for sure. But I do think CIDM has a pretty decent potential for a short squeeze. Now, these NFTs have been pulling back the last couple of days, but if I had to guess by looking at their charts, I don't think the run is over just yet because a lot of them have been finding support. Now, of course, if this market rolls over hard, the NFTs are probably going to get crushed just like most of the other stocks out there. So, I think a lot of this is depending on the overall market staying strong and not rolling over, and of course the NFTs remaining strong. But I think there is a perfect storm brewing in CIDM for a short squeeze, especially since it's so close to this resistance area, and it looks like the short sellers are coming in and defending this area very aggressively. But let's go to the minute chart for today, because it actually looked like today, like it was poised to break out. It started to break to 210, got sold off, and then it started to grind its way higher, and then it broke out midday, and then it immediately sold off. So I don't know if that's just more sellers coming in and knocking this thing down, but this thing looked like it was ready to go. So I still think there's a lot of strength in this stock, and this is still midday, so who knows what's going to happen. It could either, scream higher, stay where it's at, or it can completely roll over and destroy this chart pattern. If this thing does roll over and fill this gap all the way down to $1.65, I do think that the chart pattern is probably going to be shot, and I will consider closing out the pattern. But as of right now, I still think it's a pretty decent looking chart pattern. But let's take a look at some of those other NTFs. All right, well, the first NFT that I want to show you is TCAT. And as we can see, this one has been pulling back hard the last couple of days, and it came down fast into that T-line, that 8-period exponential moving average. And if you ever see a stock that is screaming higher like this and then starts to come down just as fast, it's usually going to find a pretty decent bounce at that 8-period exponential moving average. That is a great place to be waiting to take either a day trade or a swing trade if you want to make a few bucks in a day. Unfortunately, I was not watching this one today, and actually, let's go to the minute chart real quick, because that 8-period exponential moving average is right around $33. Now, if we back the chart out on the minute chart, we can see when it came down to right around $32, just below that T-line, it had a huge move off it. It came from $32 all the way up to almost $44 within just a few minutes. So that is a great place to try to catch a bounce. And then it came down to it again right around $11.30, and then it bounced from right around $33 back up to over $41. So that is a great place to look for these swing trades, and it's showing me that the stock did find some support. Now it needs to hold above that line to continue its uptrend, of course. But if it can bounce up and then hold above that line, I don't think this run is over in some of these NFTs. But the next one I want to show you is HOFV. This one did the same exact thing today, had a huge reversal, came right down to that line and touched it perfectly and then bounced up. Now, this is the one that is involved with the National Football League, so there's a lot of buzz surrounding HOFV. But if we go to the minute chart, we can see it bounced right off of that right around 11 in the morning and went from $4.20 all the way up to a high of $5.40. So just a huge run that you could have caught on HOFV in a matter of a couple hours if you'd have played it just right. You'd have been able to capture over 28%. So that would have been a pretty decent move to catch in just a couple of hours. But HOFV definitely looking like it could be finding some support and maybe headed higher. Another one I want to show you is DLPN. You can see DLPN had a huge gap down, and it didn't make it down to the 8-period exponential moving average, so I'll be watching that one for tomorrow. But it is holding its ground, and this is a massive move because this stock was just a $5 stock 3 days ago. So the fact that it's holding at $15 and it isn't selling off all the way tells me that there is some support for this stock in the teens. So DLPN, I think, still has some strength left in it despite that huge reversal. Next one I want to show you is ZKIN. And ZKIN, let me back the chart out a little bit here. ZKIN broke below that 8-period exponential moving average and went just a little bit below it, but then had an immediate reversal and shot up over $12 a share, and now it is holding right around $11 a share. So as long as ZKIN can hold up in this area, I do think that the NFTs will probably get another run. We have to see how the market holds up and if these things can hold near the highs, because if they can, the run in these NFTs might not be over just yet. All right, well, before I get out of here, I do want to go over the market averages real quick because today is kind of a significant day, technically speaking, especially on the NASDAQ. This is the QQQ, which of course is the ETF of the NASDAQ. And if I zoom in here, we can see it's breaking below this critical support area today. And even though it's not breaking it and following through as of yet, this is an intraday chart here. So, I mean, obviously, by the time I get done recording this video, the market could have just, the bottom could have dropped out of the market. But as of right now, it's actually holding its own. And let me go to the 15-minute chart so we can get a closer look at exactly what's going on. This area right here, right around 310, is very critical for the NASDAQ. And today it's breaking through it, came back up to it, hit it because once it breaks through it becomes resistance, and it started to roll over. And it looks like it's trying to fight its way back. I think this is a very critical area in the market, especially on the NASDAQ. I mean, it looked like that this was potentially going to be turning into an inverted head and shoulders pattern on the NASDAQ, and we were going to be headed higher. But the NASDAQ just rolled over again. And so the NASDAQ and the market in general just keeps us guessing at the moment. We don't know which way to go. If you know which way this market is definitely going to go, by all means, leave it down there in the comment section because I would love to hear your opinion. But as far as the NASDAQ is concerned, this is a very critical juncture. And if hopefully it can jump right back above it, maybe it breaking this critical level. Let me get this stuff out of here real quick. Maybe it breaking this critical level sucked some short sellers in, and maybe they're going to run it higher tomorrow and try to squeeze them out. Who knows? It seems like, if we zoom in on this chart, we had this big reversal day on the 24th of February. And normally when you get a reversal like that to the upside, you usually get at least one day of some follow through, but we got none of that. The next day it just closed down huge. Then the next day it kind of opened sideways, and then it gapped up again, and then the next day it rolled over again. So the market just keeps going back and forth. This is really the only follow through that we had, and that was just a little bit to the downside. We had this huge bullish hammer reversal on the NASDAQ, and then it just crashed the next day, almost making a new low, and then it just gaps up higher again above the 8-period exponential moving average. So it looks like it's going to get some follow through the next day, and it gaps up, but then sells off immediately. I mean, you see the picture. On this day right here, I thought for sure this was going to be the start of the new uptrend. Caught support at the 8-period exponential moving average, close above the 50-period simple moving average, which of course is bullish. And then the next day, it just gaps down big again. So I have no idea what the direction on this stock market is right now. I think everybody's kind of like jumping from one foot to the other. But I just did want to make note that it did break below this critical support level today, and hopefully it can either get back above it today or tomorrow, because if we get some follow through to the downside, this could be a pretty substantial move down. I think we could easily go down to this 200-period simple moving average at 290, and that's going to crush a lot of overvalued stocks right now. I'm seeing like a lot of the Dow Jones industrial stocks are still kind of moving up. One that I own is 3M, and 3M is actually breaking out to a new relative high, at least almost a new 52-week high. So, I mean, 3M is doing really well. Another dividend stock I owned is Kraft Heinz. That one is doing relatively well. So, I mean, a lot of these dividend-paying stocks are doing pretty good. So that's why it pays to be diversified. But if we go over and take a look at the Dow Jones real quick, we can see that the Dow Jones is actually making a reversal candle. It is finding resistance at that 8-period exponential moving average at the moment, but actually this is a pretty bullish candle. In a normal market environment, I would expect some follow through and for it to be above that 8-period exponential moving average tomorrow, but who knows with this market. But I did just want to show you guys that real quick. Let me take a look at the spider real quickly before I end the video. And the spider is reversing off of the 50-period simple moving average, so that is a bullish sign. So I wouldn't be a bit surprised if those two catalysts can pull the NASDAQ higher tomorrow, but I am not making any bets on it. But we can see the last time the S&P 500 had a battle with the 50-period simple moving average, it did result in a pretty decent move up. So hopefully we can get one here, but this one was very short-lived. It came right back down and tested it not long after. All right, everybody, that's all I have for this video, so I'm going to end it right there. But if you have any questions or comments on this stock or any other stocks, please leave them down there in the comment section. I will get back to you as soon as I can. If you enjoy the video, please hit the like button for me and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching my video all the way to the end, and until next time, take care, everybody.